Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. I have never seen this happen on a dwarf jade, where the tree actually grew itself up out of the pot and created a massive circling root. Normally, the roots are very well behaved, but check out that circling root right there, and it has actually lifted itself right out of the pot. Another very interesting thing about this tree, if we look here, you can kind of see a rectangle, and that's because it used to be in a pot like this. So this tree was in a much smaller pot for a period of time, and then I put it into this oval, and you can still see the rectangular roots from when it used to be in that pot, which I find interesting. But I've never ever seen a tree do this, grow itself right up out of the pot. And look at that root, just crazy. So we're going to take him off, obviously. Did you hear it snap? Neither did I. Portulacaria has such soft wood. You don't... Oh, there was a snap. Okay, now this guy still continues to wrap around. I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Then we have a group of roots that have grown down below my mesh. And this tree just has window screen for drainage. And many times when I use window screen, I just make a large piece that fits the whole pot. And I'm going to put this guy right back into this same pot because I like the design. But I may need to get a new piece of window screen because a lot of times, well, I guess it is two pieces of window screen. Pot has, you know, your typical bonsai pot, two pretty huge drain holes. And that one has broken apart, so I need another piece of window screen, which I have plenty of. Okay, so we have another root that obviously needs to go. I'm just looking at the rest of this. If I notice if I pull this, then about half the roots leave, so I may leave that. There's the other circling root. Okay, so I think I can take him out. I can take him out. Oops, there we go. And jade are tough plants. They can take a lot of root pruning. Have a knob on the bottom here that I'm also going to reduce. Okay. So he's going to go right back in the same pot at a little bit different angle. You know, he was like this. A little bit different angle, but I like the tree. I like the tree, and it needs some trimming. It has some flaws that we're going to correct. Obviously, this branch here that just keeps going and going and going, we're going to shorten him. I'm sure that branch was a male. And then right here we have two parallel branches that are competing as the first main branch. This guy here and this guy here. And so I'm going to remove this one. Oops. Because this one here is right at the outside of the curve, and that's really where you want your branches to be. This guy also needs to be wired like that. Then we have this kind of strange growth on the first main branch, which I don't think we need, or at least shorten it up. And then the rest of it is just haircut time. I'm going to spin it around to get to this first main branch. And our back branch is just one giant single piece of growth, so we're going to cut him back. But I think for now I'm just going to give it a haircut. Did I get my head in the way? I may have. Yes, one day my production quality would be better. Okay, so I've almost entirely removed every single leaf on this guy. And I've also pruned the roots. So, let me clear off the mess. So dwarf jade are succulents. And they don't really want to be too wet, but boy, I really like the way that came out. I'm going to wire this guy like this. And in fact, I have a piece of wire right here, so I'm going to do that. And this part of the branch doesn't need to be moved, so I'm going to just anchor it on the branch. And honestly, I probably did this backwards. I should have done this part while the tree was still stable in the pot and then unstabilized it. But dwarf jade are extremely forgiving, so it will be no big deal. This guy is going to respond no problem. I don't think we need any other wiring. That's going to be a pretty nice tree. Let's bring it up so we don't see the background, or we don't see the bench as the background. Of course, I have my wire. And then it's just a matter of getting some new screen and putting it back into bonsai soil and letting it recover. Now, one thing about dwarf jade, when you cut the roots pretty hard like that, this scar is pretty wet, so I will not water for a day. Now, some people will tell you that you don't water until you see new growth, but I think that's crazy. I don't do that because I've not really had to do that. I don't find that that's necessary. Let it heal for a day, because it does need to callus over, and then just gentle water over time. You know, don't douse it. And I've never had jade rot on me because I watered them too soon after doing a root pruning. You've got to leave it for a day though. You've got to make sure that any especially large scars callus over. That typically takes a day. I mean, jades are so tough that I could just leave this guy like this, just out on the bench like this. And even in a week, it would still be alive, because that's just the nature of the dwarf jade. However, we're going to put him back in a pot, get some bonsai soil, and give him a new soil. So I added a little bit of coarser mix to the bottom, and now I'm just going to add a finer mix around the rest of the pot. And I'm using a tray to catch the excess instead of my container, because it's difficult to film when the container is so deep. So, and I'm covering the moss up, but the moss will peek back through in no time. And a lot of people use a toothpick, a chopstick. Well, I guess a chopstick is a giant toothpick, right? Maybe get some over here. And as in my other videos, I normally don't make a mound with the soil, because the next time it rains hard or you water a little more aggressively, all that excess soil is just going to wash away anyway. So there we go, you can see the moss already peeking through. Okay. And a little bit of fertilizer, and this guy is on its way. And it's pretty much a finished tree, you know, it only really needs to just fill in, develop. And I really like the way it moves. There's a song like that, right? You get a copyright strike if you sing, I like the way you move. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and you can see this guy grow, and leave a comment if you'd like. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And I think this guy's really gonna develop nicely. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.